Hello, intrepid viewers. Hi to any new people, trendsetters everywhere who have cruised onto this channel. You're on Tarot Down Under, proudly not fair and balanced. So, since we last spoke, so much has happened, including just today. Another GOP congressman has walked out, the guy from Wisconsin. He stayed for the vote on Ukraine and then he walked. And I think that leaves them with only a majority of. I've never seen this. I'm sure you guys haven't either, because it hasn't happened before, where people walk out of their Congress positions in an election year. It's gobsmacking. But hey. But I want to kick off with Bill Barr. I mean, you'd have to say there's a special place in Hades for Bill Barr, wouldn't you? So single-handedly, when he was Attorney General, he sabotaged the Mueller investigation. 2 years of solid work uncovering all this stuff, and he reduced it in a few sentences to nothing. Just absolutely terrible, terrible way to cripple the nation. We're in this position today because of Bill Barr. Had the Mueller report gone out at the time and all of that. So after doing that, he flips and he wrote his stupid book, and then for the last 3 years has been roaming the nation saying Trump is crazy, he's a cretin, he's dangerous, what a terrible man. And then a couple of days ago, he goes on Fox News and says it's 2 bad choices for president and a vote for Biden is national suicide. How dare he? How dare he? And so he confessed he's going to vote for the Yeti. Ooh, how disgusting is Bill Barr? You know? I don't even want to read on him, actually. So let's move on. There's lots and lots and lots to cover, but a viewer has written in asking about the Assemblies of God. Now, several years ago, I did extensive readings back in the day when I did whole Celtic crosses, 15 cards, 20 cards, on the whole prosperity gospel thing, which has taken the world by storm, but America invented it. That's probably not true historically. I'm sure there were others. However, the Jim and Tammy Bakers and all of that, and Falwell and everyone, got really rich, getting money from really poor people who were hoping to be rich. Anyway, there's a big scandal. I think it's about time. Assemblies of God, they're a Pentecostal type group. So let's have a look at this scandal. What will be the outcome of that, the Assemblies of God? They use the G word very freely, don't they? Assemblies of God scandal. Okay. I'm going to have a look. All right. Oh, they've got some secrets. Well, look, Oh, what happened to my camera? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Oh, that was a moment. Mercury retrograde. We just did Hogerly an hour ago, and we had half an hour of technical dramas out of an hour. Anyway, back to Assemblies of God. Their first card, holding on to the money. So I think as this story broke behind the scenes, those that were in the front of it squirreled money away, so that after the court case, even if there's bankruptcies and things, they've got some money in hiding. Look at this, the Hermit card, hidden money. The cards speak, don't they? Now, what was it all about? Massive amounts of money, right? Massive amounts of money. And they worked with each other, I think, to sort of, in a way, invent a business model here to say to people, we're with you. You know, I've got the hotline to God, so pay me and you'll be better off. Okay. Now, in terms of the actual scandal and the dimensions of it, it's not going to end well for them. So here's the card of regret. Not, I think, regret at what they did. No, 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 no. Regret they got caught, right? Regret they got caught and losses, massive, massive life-altering losses. Oh, couldn't be happier. Shouldn't say that, I know, but one has to have a little Schadenfreude, doesn't it, really? So the hypocrisy of the big mainstream churches is boundless. So now let's have a look here. Oh, I know. There's a woman called Tina Peters from Colorado, and she was a clerk around the election, and now she's been charged with tampering with voting machines. And another woman, Kathy Letham from Georgia, fake elector, who said, oh, it was nothing to do with me, I didn't do anything. And then the photos emerged of her with the hackers and stuff. So I'm combining them together in a way. So now the Georgia case is working its way up the tree. It becomes more immediate who is going to be legally impacted by their behaviour immediately surrounding the election. So let's have a look at the fake electors, tampering with the voting machines and all of this. This is obviously important because there's another election on the horizon. Hello. I don't know what happened to the last 3 years, but here we are. Okay, so what's going to happen for these people who were instrumental in the mechanics of this? There's been other cases, but there seems to be a new cluster of cases around this issue. Hopefully the drama around Fani Willis is subsiding and she can focus on the work. Let's have a look here about the election. Okay. Look at this. Queen of Cups. Now, with these cards, big female energy here. So, look, there's a lot of talk in the world about the divine feminine and how important it is to save the planet. There's talk about women who will actually decide this next election. A lot of female energy going on. But as we all know, when women turn to the dark side, they're the worst of the worst. So think Margaret Thatcher, the Alina Hubbers, just absolutely Marjorie Taylor Greene. You know, when they're bad, they're really bad. And so this is the magnification of this. This is the Queen of Cups. And they were brought into this whole world of let's do it. We can steal the election. Because they were emotionally driven with all this water. They were in key places, so they were able to expand, as the Empress does, the opportunities for the bad behavior and the hackers and so forth. So these two cards together speak of magnification to me. They thought they'd got away with it in the cover of night with the Hermit. They thought they had sort of sorted it out. And now it's coming back to bite them on the bum. Ace of Cups, more water, more water. Right. So this is the dove of peace into the chalice. It's like, let's say this is Farney Willis diving in and the water spilling over, because they would have started their investigations, the prosecutors and stuff here, and then found all this other stuff. And the strategy now is how to deal with these people. So there'll hardly be any room in jail for the Yeti by the time all these other jailings go on. I'm being facetious, but strategies are afoot how to deal with them. And I think it's in the form of, what do you charge them with? Do you charge them with this that's a misdemeanor, this that's small, or do you go all the way? Have there been any treason charges? I don't think so. It sort of freaks out the legal thing. But they're struggling in a sense and just getting their act together on what to charge them with. Now, speaking of the Yeti, also the Bino, as he's now called on this channel, amongst others, billionaire in name only. If you haven't been with me for the last 6 years, I'll just bring you up to date with my generic predictions on Trump, which is, I've never seen him go to a conventional jail, much as we'd love to see the orange jumpsuit and the fake tan fading in front of our eyes. But I think he's getting very close to some sort of physical restriction. That might be house arrest, but how do you keep him off the internet? Or it could be a purpose-built mini facility. And word is there have been discussions with Judge Merchan and Secret Service. How do they protect an ex-president in this sort of context? So I think we're likely to see that. I think the real question is, will he explode or implode? So he could end up in a facility. But my question right now is, because in Australia, a judge can order a psychological or a psychiatric evaluation when they think a defendant is really out on a limb. They can court order an evaluation. I'd love to know. Will it get to that stage? Will there be a court-ordered psych evaluation of Trump? Between now and then, will there be a psych evaluation? Let's check this out. I think there's quite a good chance, I have to say. All right, so there's a twist in this. Okay, he's going to charge Ford. This is the impulsive night. As we know, he doesn't care. He hasn't got a stop button. With the best will in the world, if you actually offered to pay him $1,000 a minute, he can't stop. You know, he's just going to charge Ford. This is the Empress in another capacity. I think this is trying to look after the country. See, this is the Empress in her nurturing role. There's the wheat, the forest, the river. The Empress stabilizes families. It's an almost matriarchal energy. So in this sense, I think she has her normal properties of expanding things. She's usually depicted as pregnant. So this will get worse. But I think it's also the energy of the legal system trying to stabilize things. Now, the question was, will there be a psych evaluation? It might not be the court. This is the card of families. It's also my GOP card. in many ways. So it could be literally the family, or it could be people who, I won't say who want the best for him, because you could count those on the fingers of one hand. But even people who are not for Democrats, is what I'm struggling to say, could play a role in this. The psychological evaluation, which will no doubt be leaked, that could be the end of him one way and another. Look, death trampling the king, crown rolling off. Oh my God. Now, before I go on with whatever my next question is, I have no idea because I've got pages to note. We have to step back and have a think, intrepid viewers. You know, like, with all this stuff going on, we know he's going to step out of the courthouse every day, 4 days a week, but he always says the same things. So it's long overdue for the big media moguls to actually have a serious talk with each other. How are we going to cover this going forward? Because there's so much saturation coverage. Wouldn't it be great if they decided we'd only dedicate 1 minute, for example, of what he says, because it's the same thing, and just introduce it each night? Well, ex-President Trump did say what he said yesterday and every other day, blurty blurt, and move on to the next item, you know, something like that. Now, Clarence Thomas has been AWOL. He should be residing in eternal shame as well. So what's going on with Clarence Thomas? What's going on? Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas. Let's have a look. He's up there with Bill Barr, isn't he? Oh my God. Ooh. I'm going to have another shower after this reading, intrepid viewers. Oh my goodness. So the first and overarching card, judgment. Judgment. Now, like all the major arcanas, there are many interpretations, and I think quite a few of them are coming together here. If you look at the imagery on this card, that is Gabriel blowing the trumpet and people waking up. So that's interesting. It also, of course, literally means judgment. I think there's something in the wind. I thought this was just going to go down the health route, right? I thought, it's going to be heart or something. And it might well be, right, as well. But there's a judgment hanging over him. I think it's already in play with this high priestess, but we don't know about it. It's behind the curtain, secret agendas that he's been part of. But I think he's also got the devil card, ooh, and walking away. So I think he might come back from this. This might be a health issue. He might come back from this for a while, but not long. I think he's going to walk away in order to discourage this judgment coming down on him. Sheldon Whitehouse, who's done a great job for the last 3 years. We all use the phrase, follow the money, but he has done it. Sheldon Whitehouse has done it. So he's actually looked at who's funding individuals on the Supreme Court. He has this information. I think this judgment is about that. Food for thought. Wowie zowie. Oh my God. Okay. So, we have to talk about night security too. Oh, Mike Johnson, mixed bag, very mixed bag. On the one hand, he's stepped up to this very important role in the hierarchy of American politics. This is seriously up there, Speaker of the House. And he has steered the ship to get Ukraine funding, etc. Okay. But on the other hand, he's still an evangelical nutcase. I'm not sure if I'm using the word evangelical correctly. I don't know what his literal church of choice is, but I'm just saying generic. We're talking 19th century stuff that he wants. Despite mutual monitoring of porn sites with his son, I mean, it gets seriously weird. But this week, he's pushing a bill, along with the Yeti, that foreign nationals, non-citizens, can't vote in the next election. They can't vote now. If you're not a citizen, you can't vote. This is Civics 101. Any 11-year-old should be able to tell you that. But they've made it a bill. And you know why, of course. I don't have to tell you. It's so they can go and say, we're going to stop all this illegal voting. It's lunacy. It's pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Oh. Now, and in other firsts, you'll love this. You may have missed it in the tsunami of everyday news. This set me back on my ass. I couldn't believe it. GOP candidates have been told if they want to use Trump's name in their campaigns, they have to pay him. Okay, that is not a democracy right there, apart from everything else is said and done. That is deep banana republic terrain. Deep, deep, deep. You know, you think you can't be shocked, but they manage. Okay, so we're going to have a look now, following the bonds saga and the endless appeals. And night security, turns out they don't have money themselves, you know. So this is a real Bino moment. He hasn't got the money. No one legit will give him the money. So this fly-by-night night security offered the money, only to find out they don't really have it either. Yeah. So will we see Letitia James with the master key in these properties? Will it actually finally come to pass? Because he's been given so much time and an extension. Let's have a look at this. And then I've got some housekeeping updates for you. Night security, Mr. Hanky, Mr. Wet Tissue. Let's have a look. Oh, I don't know. Truly, I don't. I'm not thrilled. I have to say, viewers, I am not thrilled. Okay. So here he is, the King of Pentacles. Yeah, right, but not. A last-ditch offer that he's not mad about in order to hold on to his real estate. A compromise of some sort. You see what I mean? Not liking it. Outcome, though, is celebration. This card has different meanings in different spreads, and I take this to be a celebration. So, although I'm not really happy, these cards say to me another bit of a delay, something about something, but we'll get there. I think we'll actually see it. Phew. Oh my God. Now, guys, a little update on Lady G. She's posting videos herself miraculously. She is such an amazingly strong person. So you can check out her channel. The other things I wanted to tell you about, you know how on Hogarth's program, which is every Saturday night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, if you're not familiar with it, we finish with one of the great insults from Shakespeare. And one of our viewers, Igor Moi, has brought out a book or tarot deck on Shakespeare's insults. So I will put up in the comments the website for that, and you can check it out. Now, I'm taking off in 3 weeks, intrepid viewers. So I'm going to Brazil. I'm so excited. I've never been to Brazil. So I've happily been living on pasta and dog biscuits, saving money to go. Because if you think about it, I'm going to Argentina first, and Australia's here and Argentina's there, and it's so difficult to fly from one to the other, and it takes about 30 hours. So I'm breaking it up. I'll be going to Hawaii for 2 days, New York for 2 days, Buenos Aires. So how exciting is that? It's absolutely can't wait. So you guys, oh, I've got another message. Message to the universe. I'm throwing it out there. I'm sure you would have seen when Trump's people organized his trip to the bodega and the 10 people who were paid to say 4 more years and we love Trump. You know, so I'm hoping that New Yorkers can roster themselves into maybe 20 people a day, 4 days a week. You'd only have to do it once, pass it on, and chanting, lock him up. Lock him. Would that not be heaven? Okay. So you guys take care. Lots of love to Lady G. Look after yourselves. And in the words of John Lewis, make good trouble, people. Make good trouble. Go New York. Bye.